So I will confer that these cryptos and metaverse is angled at a new metaphysic because I'm looking right at it. Like, isn't Hoth or Doth is also a gateway, right? What is a Hoskinson? What is a Charles Hoskinson? This is weird, man. He's like, they knowing. Like they knowing what all this shit is. This, okay, look at this as a science too. Like finance and technology is married at the hip. Coming up with a digital money. Like how do you get people to recognize its currency? How do you get people to recognize its currency? Currency, current. Isn't there a berry called a currant? It looks like ovaries. It currency is why you keep your money at a bank, river bank, river to the bank, river bank to the river, like it is. River to the bank, pond the river, pond the river. From river to the bank, from river to the bank, like it is, like it is. Wait a minute. Like this, like this. Bonk to bonk, river to the bonk. Remember that volume attracts liquidity, right? Volume is mass and displacement of weight. Volume is weight and displacement of mass. In the 357 Fibonacci sequence, it's the ratio by which leverage, right? Because think of like leverage as a futures market, in a futures market, but it will try to float up the solar boat, which is the lotus blossom, the petal of the lotus blossom. It needs the Fibonacci sequence and the moon, like, to tell it when to open up and displace volume of mass so that it can float, like, and then the ibis will come crashing down on it to test for resistance, to test for resistance, just like the bears in the stock market. They are looking for price discovery, and big holders of this shit, right, will unload it. Who knows, they're trying to maybe acquire a bigger stack, right? Who knows, maybe they're trying to increase their stake when they can liquidate those longs or something. They can increase their stack, basically. I mean, if something is just floating along and the price isn't getting challenged, maybe nobody wants it. Maybe it's because nobody wants it. Maybe nobody's trading it or looking for it. And that's why the price looks like it's good, when it's maybe not so good. It's low liquidity market, low, but it needs volatility to attract volume of liquidity. And then when the price soars up, then it'll go into distribution. Now, there's leverage is like a service that is sometimes there's healthy and there's unhealthy leveraging. Obviously, if something can get leveraged, where they shorted way down below the value of what the company was ever worth in the first place, then something's wrong. I'm gonna lose my place. Why does this have to do with Jed? Because you can't question whether or not the Jed is stable. You already understand the concept of accumulation, absorption, and resonance in the electromagnetic rig that imparted the symbol by which as the electrician, it's uses it too. There's four rungs and one female, one male, right? There's one line variance difference that associates a male and a female. It's not a plus. It's a T at the bottom, and you know what I mean. Looks like a robot vagina, and it's a symbol for the negative aspect of the electronic field, right? But as it goes, this archetypal energy, we tap into the earth and we can use it, right? But we can't take it because it would kill off the entire human race. We're an amp, right? It's something about like how it comes from the archetype itself, right? We can maximize the energy from lattices and pulleys and that animal's husbandry or whatever. You know what I mean? But it somehow still works as a rig and will create or generate warbling in between the rungs, and enough to charge the ether a little bit. You can string perfidia around the garden. It doesn't take that much electricity, right? Something like that, right? A big monstrosity would be inefficient for us to power our energy needs, but it could be aesthetic value. Aesthetic value. The last person to attempt aesthetic value in Mussolini's markets, like in Mussolini's economy, is Aleister Crowley. See, they gotta be so vague, and they be knowing this shit. It's just when we're ready to drop the technology on or the, it's like laying down a train track for something else, like the rock and roll revolution or something. It's weird, and everything's backwards because the rock and roll revolution started in Los Angeles and La Raza started in San Francisco and Excelsior. That sounds like Camelot. Also sounds like Electro Light something. So, see, I'm a conspiracy theorist all the way down to the grid. Excelsior. It sounds like some Camelot mystery, Knights of the Templar 22 degree shit. But that's just the city. That's just the grid. I'm not talking about La Raza. But it started in San Francisco, right? Not LA. And then Laurel Canyon is where the flower power and free love and hippie trippy shit started. See, I don't know why I got off onto that. It's just more cool shit. Hey, check what I know. And look what I know. And if somebody else is talking like this too, I'd be listening to them too. I would watch people like this just to keep me occupied with boredom or something. But I already have such a detailed catalog then. So I'm looking for something a little bit different than what one might expect then. And then there's like the shit, the obvious that you have to watch for infotainment or whatever.